WCCO.
Welcome back to News and Views. I'm Rashini Rajkumar. It is 2:07 on this Sunday, October 28th, and I am going to speak with Representative Chip Cravaack of the 8th District. As you probably know, a pretty hotly contested race going on up there on the Iron Range. Welcome to the show, Rick. Welcome to the show, Chip.
Hi, Rashini. How are you?
Good
to be here.
Thanks for being on. I spoke with your challenger, Rick Nolan, earlier in the show. I have some questions for you. Let's start out. You are going for your second term as the representative in the 8th District. Tell me what the first term was like in Congress. This has been a tough year for Congress, a tough 4 years. No one is really happy with Congress right now. How is it actually working there?
You know, I share the frustration with a lot of Americans regarding Congress at this point. But, you know, when people are frustrated with Congress, they're half right. On the House side, we placed a lot of legislation that has gone through a bipartisan committee process, going through bipartisan on the floor, and then we sent it over to the Senate. I believe we have about 39 bills over in the Senate that are jobs bills that will directly affect the economy and creating jobs. And unfortunately, Senator Reid has not allowed them to come to the floor. So I share the frustration because you work very hard on these bills. A couple more ours bills, the Mille Lacs Lake bill, and also the school trust land bill that is going to create jobs here in the 8th District of Minnesota. And unfortunately, Senator Reid has not taken them up and allowed them for open and honest debate. Let them fall or succeed on their own merits, but at least allow them to come to the floor for the debate.
Representative Cravaack, do you feel that you have some things that you have put into play in your first 2 years in Congress that you want to continue or see through? What are you saying to your constituents in the 8th District right now as you're campaigning?
You know, it's all about jobs and the economy and getting people to work, getting people good-paying jobs. We have fantastic opportunities in the 8th District. I've been laser-focused even before I took the oath of office in getting PolyMet rolling and getting that. It's 300 to 350 full-time jobs that will be created within the 8th District, direct jobs. You could double that for the ancillary jobs associated with the PolyMet project. We'll be harvesting precious metals, things we have to have in this country anyway. It goes into our cell phones. It goes into our cars, our catalytic converters. It takes 1,500 pounds of copper to go into a windmill. And it goes into our weaponry. We need these precious metals for our country. And at the same time, it creates jobs. And then I want to look a little bit north down the line, and the Twin Metals project out of Ely, that is going to be anywhere between 2,000 to 2,500 full-time jobs. And again, if you double that, those are the ancillary jobs. I see in the 8th District of Minnesota, very similar to what you're seeing in the Bakken Fields, people moving into the district for jobs and opportunity.
All right, I want to talk a little bit about the race. It has been said to be the 10th most expensive race in the country, and that's pretty big for Minnesota's 8th. And I spoke in preparing to interview you and your challenger. I spoke with one of my political analysts, David Schultz of Hamlin, and he said that both the Republican and Democratic congressional campaign committees have targeted Minnesota's 8th as one of the most important in the country. And he also said that one of the things that is working against Rick Nolan is the Dems have not been very organized in the 8th, and he believes that is going to help you, as well as the fact that the district has kind of shifted away from the Iron Range centric to more of those northern Twin Cities suburbs. What are your thoughts first of all, what his analysis is? Let's start there.
Well, I would agree to him to the extent is that the Democrats and Rick Nolan don't have a plan. We have a plan. We have a plan on job growth and getting our economy rolling again. We have a pro-growth tax reform plan. We also are taking a look at the excessive amount of regulations that have been heaped on small businesses, because 7 out of 10 people are employed nationally by small business. I would say that's higher in the 8th District because we are small towns. The amount, it's listening to small business. It's listening to corporations on how do we bring jobs back to the 8th District. We have a plan, and at the same time, you have to address the amount of debt and deficit that we have in this country. I mean, it's leading to the first time in history of the downgrading of the United States. I mean, that is so significant. We have a plan of eliminate deficit spending and eliminating the debt. And they don't have a plan. We do. That's why they want to try to talk about anything else except jobs in the economy.
Okay, so 2 years ago, you beat a popular Congressman, Jim Oberstar, in the 8th. Why is it 2 years later, and I just say this, as objectively as I can, it is not a shoo-in? Why is it, once again, a hotly debated, hotly contested, both those committees saying this is one of the ones to watch in 2012?
Well, we live in the 8th District. It's a strong Democrat district, but I truly believe in the 8th District are conservative Democrats. They're Humphrey Democrats. They truly believe, they're solid Americans. They are good people that just want a good day's pay for a hard day's work, and that is I have to prove myself in the 8th District as a Republican, because let's face it, we've had Democrats for the last 63 years, and there's only been 2 of them. So I'm kind of like the new kid on the block, and I believe I've been able to do that. Like, for example, the Buy American Steel Amendment. That is extremely important for our miners in the steel industry, ensuring that American steel is used on American projects using American workers. In addition to that, we were able to go through the Natural Resources Committee, getting passed on the House floor, a streamlining amendment to ensure that projects like Polymet, projects like Twin Metals, are not taking 10 years for completely duplicative type of studies, so we can get these jobs rolling again, jobs that are badly needed in the 8th District. As a freshman, I've had the greatest of opportunities to have what's called 2 red line bills, which means that they've passed through the House, through the Senate, and signed by the President. One was the Cook County bill, a road that had been languishing for over 10 years trying to be built. We got it done in 18 months. And also the TSA bill, which is ensuring that when our troops come home in uniform with their military ID on orders, are treated with the dignity and respect that they deserve when they're going through our nation's airports. So, I think the legislation that we have created has been very 8th District specific, and I hope the voters on November 6th will see that.
Okay, I don't have much time left with you, so I want to real quickly first ask about something that's gotten a lot of play from both you as well as your challenger, and that is this residency issue. And Rick Nolan has brought up or criticized you for your wife moving with your children closer to her work on the East Coast. Seen varying ads from both sides on this. Want to give you an opportunity to explain your side of things.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate we're even going here. Congressman Nolan and I discussed this, that we would stick with the issues. Residents, I believe, right on your counterpart, Ezra May Murphy, on her show, he even said that residency was not going to be an issue, and we would stick to the issues that really matter, and that's about jobs and the economy. He broke his promise not only to the people of the 8th, but he also broke his personal promise and pledge to me. That being said, the reason why he wants to talk about the residency issue, and incidentally, he moved his family out to Washington, D.C. for 6 years, where his kids went to school out in Washington. I never wanted to make that an issue because it's not an issue. It's about jobs in the economy. We have a plan how to address jobs in the economy. They don't. So again, they don't want to talk about anything except, anything but jobs in the economy.
How do you think the ballot initiatives are going to affect voter turnout, both the marriage amendment as well as the voter ID?
Well, they're very passionate issues on voter ID and also on the marriage amendment. So I think we'll see a very high turnout just in regards to that as well. But of course, it's a presidential year, and those naturally bring out a lot of voters as well.
All right. Well, Representative Chip Cravaack from the 8th District, thanks so much for joining me on the show and sharing your side of things. Have a lot of fun these next 9 days.
Oh, yeah, we're heading up. We're already on the road. We're heading up to Cloquet right now to a gun show. Just incidentally, I was endorsed by the NRA, got an A, and my opponent got an F.
Where will you be election night, Representative?
I'll probably be with my family at Toby's in Hinckley.
I've been there. They have cinnamon. They have those cinnamon buns.
You got to get the best cinnamon buns in the world right at Toby's.
I've been there. Well, thanks so much for coming on the show, and have a lot of fun these next 9 days.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
All right. And when we come back from break, we'll be meeting the